Disciples of the noble, set the captives free. Wisdom's our armor, truth's our code. Marching. Disciples of the noble, set the captives free. Wisdom's our armor, truth's our code.
So, fellow friends, I just want to present to you these two churches. So, this is a church of multiplication. This church is being established in the place. This is the Tabga, just in around Bethsaida. It's not far from to Bethsaida, just a few meters away. So this church is being established in this place where Jesus fed 5,000 people with five loaves of bread and two fish. So this church is established at this place. The church presents the memory of divine provision. Then if you go further, just 4 minutes away, you also come to the next church, which is the church of the supremacy of Peter. Both churches are just about 4 minute trekking. You don't need to trek too long. Just 4 minutes, you are in the next church. You will meet the next church. Just 4 minute trekking, you are in the next church. So the both church represent two shores, two moments, and one savior. Both churches show the witness the divine encounter between Jesus and his followers. These two churches, just a minute apart, represent two sides of our work with Jesus Christ, namely his power of restoration and the power to provide. So when I say the power to provide is on the church of multiplication, and the power of restoration is on the church of primacy of Peter. The both church are in Tabga. So the church of multiplication, let me start with the church of multiplication. If you go to the four gospels in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and you see the church of multiplication, we saw they talk about the miracle of Jesus feeding 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and two fishes. The church presented the memory of divine protection and provision. But if you go to the other church, that was the church of the primacy of Peter. Here, the Bible tells us that after Christ had risen, he appeared to his disciples and cooked for them breakfast and restored Peter, who had fallen away from him. So, when Christ was being crucified in Jerusalem, you remember the incident. If you go to the book of John 18, verse 16 to 18, where Christ was to be crucified, they asked Peter there 3 times, "Do you know this man?" Peter refused Jesus, denied Jesus 3 times. That's you go and look in the book of John 18 from 16 to 18, and also John 18 from 25 to 27. You can also look at it again in John 21, 15 to 17. But what is more important in this John 18, verse 18, is about the fire. I just picked this point, the fire. Peter was warming fire. John 18, verse 18, collaborate with John 21, verse 19. They both have to do with fire. In the first fire, it was betrayal. Peter was warming fire, was where the coal of fire was burning, and they asked him, there he refused Jesus Christ 3 times. And then you see also, if you come back now to Tabka, when Jesus rose from the dead, he appeared again to them in the shore where that church is built, the church of primacy of Peter. He told them, three, and this way they caught some fish. Then he invited them to come and eat breakfast with him. He already prepared, he prepared coal fire was burning. So it shows that when he was betraying Jesus Christ, he was warming fire, fire was there. And when Jesus came back to restore him, Jesus fire was also burning. The same coal of fire was also burning. But this first fire was betrayal. The second fire was restoration. You see, the first fire denotes denial, while the second fire denotes questioning. Do you love me 3 times? And he answered, yes, yes, 3 times. And also the question, follow love. Commission to do the work was take care of my sheep, take care of my lamb, take care of my sheep. So both fire have some spiritual connotation, because the first fire, when Peter was warming the fire, when the coal of fire was burning, he refused Jesus 3 times. Then when Jesus arose from the dead, and when they were struggling to fish and they could not catch any fish, He prepared breakfast for them, and he still there. He also invited Peter and asked Peter this question 3 times. Do you love me 3 times? So the first fire was denial, while the second one was forgiveness and reconciliation. So yeah, Jesus did not just forgive Peter, but he also commissioned him, gave him commission. See the fish, there's a fish. This place where the church is built, you see the symbol of the fish, and there you see also we're just here at the spot where that incident happened. There's a church. You can see the church where Jesus he feed the people with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. And not far away, you will see the other church, the Church of the Supremacy of Peter. So they are just nearby. The two churches are just on the same spot. And it's a really big privilege because the two churches are just neighbor to one another. So also, if I want to give some small conclusion about this incident of these two churches, I would say the Church of Multiplication speaks of provision, while the Church of Primacy of Peter speaks of calling. Multiplication, he multiplied 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. It speaks of provision, while the Church of Primacy of Peter speaks of calling because he forgave Peter and he gave him, he commissioned him on the ministry. Also, the Church of Multiplication demonstrate power because Jesus exercises power to perform miracle, while the Church of Primacy of Peter demonstrate forgiveness, mercy, and commission. See, now there was no power but forgiveness. Ask him 3 times, you love me, and he showed mercy on him and also give him commission. So we go further again. We see that the both churches remind us that Jesus is the bread of our life, and Jesus is also the shepherd of our soul. You see, he meets us in our hunger and he meets us in our failure. So the both churches are very, very important, and I'm very, very happy the both churches are just on the same spot. Just 4 minutes away, two churches on the same spot. The one denotes multiplication, one denotes forgiveness and commission to do ministry. So it was a blessing to be here. We are just on the two shores. The two shores are just in the same place in Tabga. This place where they are is called Tabga in Bethsaida. So the two shores are just nearer, and just a stonework. 4 minutes, you are in the next shore. You see the shores here. This is the Church of Primacy of Peter. This one is the Church of Primacy of Peter. We are seeing now. That's where Jesus told them, through your this way. They threw the net and they caught some fish and they brought it to the shore, and then they saw he has prepared breakfast for them, and they ate breakfast with him, and he asked Peter those series of questions: "Do you love me? Do you love me?" So this church is built for that memorial purpose. Built for that memorial purpose. So you can see this is a church of multiplication, and this is a church of the supremacy of Peter. So thank you, guys.
Rise up, no